And you might ask, is it still your laundry basket? No, it's not. These are my friends, my unfinished projects, and some of these projects are technically from 2021. Okay, maybe not 2021, maybe 2022, but definitely there are lots of projects from 2022. So the goal is right now to face these projects, to spend some time explaining myself. Why did I acquire so many projects? And also probably validating some of you who also have a stash of unfinished projects. ADHD be damned. I'm gonna show you my unfinished projects. It's not super many, but quite some. I'm more worried that they're long-lasting projects, not that I have some. I don't think it's shameful to have unfinished projects, but what is shameful that I just had a basket of yarn sitting there and not being unraveled, not being used for something else, not being finished and worn. Fortunately, I'm a starter, not a finisher, but this has to change this year or in the next couple of years. I don't want to be a starter, I want to be a starter and a finisher, or at least the person who faces their unfinished projects and unravels them. My goal is also to tell you about this project, so I will be probably more motivated to update you whether I actually did something with them, because we're gonna meet a couple of months later, maybe 3 or 4, I don't know. I'm gonna bring this basket again and I'm gonna report to you whether I actually did something with them. I should probably start with counting how many projects I have, but then I was like, you know what, it's going to be too much of a spoiler. Okay, I will just start from the top because it's going to be easier this way. Okay, so there is this project I have. This is actually a cotton sweater because I have all these random balls of cotton yarn. The yarn itself is very good. It's a very like, I don't know, silky cotton. Do I have a, yeah, I have a sample. So this is a Fisherman rib, and for a while this used to be my favorite pattern. I don't know why, but I really like the Fisherman rib. And the cool part, you can use this side, but I prefer this side. It's very stretchy. It's actually kind of shrinks like this and gets there lengthwise, and also it eats a lot of yarn. Anyway, I came up with this beautiful color work and I felt like, okay, the stripes, I like them. So then I started it. I don't remember quite exactly, but I think this is one of the recent projects. I think I did it last year. I can actually find information on my Instagram and probably show you the dates. Yeah, so I finished the front piece. It's supposed to be like this. As you can already see, it's very short. So I don't know, when I did my math, I didn't do it right. So it was extremely wide and very short. So then I started the second part, the front piece. I realized that I ran out of gray yarn. So you can see this one has blue yarn, like some grayish, beige, grayish yarn, and then it has this like yellow lemon. So I realized I ran out of this yarn. I probably still have this yarn, but I just have to find it. So I have to go through all my stashes, and I have several places where I hold things and I have to find it. I can't buy it because this yarn I bought when I started knitting in 2021. So I don't think I can buy this yarn. I don't want to buy anything else because either I have to unravel everything and completely redo it, or I need to find this yarn. But I might actually have this yarn. Actually, give me a second. I have these 2 sweaters. They're made out of cotton. I don't wear them. And these are my first projects. Like, not first, but the projects I did in my first year. And I think one of these grays is the grays I need. I think either this one or this one. Yeah, so I think it's this yarn. So again, I don't want to unravel it now because I'm still planning to make a video everything I need. But as soon as I make this video, I'm gonna unravel it and finish the sweater. I might also redo this sweater, or maybe I need to, did I wash it? Maybe I need to wash it first and see how it changes. I might make it longer. Maybe I don't need to make it longer. I don't know. Anyway, so this project stays. And I guess my goal will be, if I don't do anything with this project until the end of this year, until the end of 2025, I'm just gonna unravel it if I don't do anything. But actually I'm planning to do something with this project because I think this project actually fits my current tastes. Okay, one done. Next one. Okay, this is the weirdest thing. What does it look to you? This is actually my friend's. Was the jacket for my dog. It's using this yarn. It's probably acrylic. I'm not sure, but I feel like it's acrylic. I need to burn it to see if it's acrylic or not. I had something made out of yarn, then I unraveled it, and I just had this yarn. Remember in my video where I talked about hot takes, I don't like the speckled yarn. Speckled yarn is just not something I like, but I still want to use up this yarn. because it's like a nice like chunky yarn. So what I did a sweater for my dog, and I don't know why I haven't finished it. And the winter is almost past. Okay, this project, I don't even know when I did it. I probably started it end of last winter. That's probably what it was. Like, it was end of last winter. I was like, oh, it's still cold. I need to do it for my dog. And then it became warm, and I'm like, whatever. I just finish it later. So this project, actually, you know what? That's exactly the project I'm gonna do next. And you know what? I want to do something cute. Maybe I do some embroidery on top of something nice. Okay, where's the end of this yarn? Yeah. So this is the project I'm gonna do as SAP, and maybe I will show it to you in my end of February knitting podcast. Actually, before we continue, I want to test this yarn and figure out what it is. Is it synthetic or not? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab a small piece like that. What else? I'm gonna use this metal bowl and a lighter. So we're gonna burn the yarn. The reason I have this, in case if it doesn't go as well, so I can just drop it in there. So my prediction that it's a synthetic yarn. Let me show what I'm actually doing. So when you burn it, when it's synthetic yarn, it melts, and you know, after it cools down, you just wait a couple of seconds, it cools down. And when you touch it, you're gonna feel, you know, melted plastic. So you're gonna feel it, and you're gonna smell the melted plastic. So this yarn, it actually melts, but at the same time, it still smells like, you know, if you ever burned your hair, or I don't know, eyebrows or something like that, you know the smell of burned hair. So it has this smell. I assume that this is probably a mix. Okay, let me unravel it, because it's actually two yarns twisted together. So let me unravel, let me grab. It's like a small piece. I mean, it rips easily. Let me see. Wait. Yeah, I think it's probably a mixture. So I don't think it's entirely synthetic. It's probably a mixture of everything. So this is probably a mix of wool and acrylic, because it does smell like a hair. So if you take any yarn that has, like for example, this yarn, like this one, it's like a merino yarn. So you see this one continues burning. So if it's a completely synthetic, it's just gonna, most of the time, it's gonna just melt, and you're gonna feel like the end of it. So this one, because it's not synthetic, I don't know if I can show you. So you see, you can crumble, and there is ash. There is no like plastic residue. So as soon as you grab it like this, it looks like a regular yarn. But this one, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, so this one, when I, first of all, there is no ash, you see? And second, there is like hard piece, like a melted plastic. Anyway, so this is not like a test that you can tell like what's the percentage of the yarn, but this is the test that you can at least figure out whether it's like fully natural, like wool yarn, or it has some synthetic content in it. Oh yeah, so this yarn, by the way, this was a hat I was making. Okay, and this one was in January 2022, and I had this yarn before. Let's continue with our process. Oh my god. Oh my god. Actually, now I will need to reveal the date. So this project is definitely 2021. Okay, how can I check? So it's somewhere in 2021 when I just started knitting. So I bought the yarn. I don't even know the composition right now, but I bought the yarn. Notice the color. It's like a cursed beige color that I don't even like. I don't know, but it's like a nice natural yarn. I think it's something like a alpaca viscose something blend. And look at this. And you would ask yourself, why do I have all these tiny balls? Because I bought this yarn in a hank, and back then I didn't know how to undo the hank. And this is a fingering weight. So I just started unraveling this hank until it completely tangled, and I had to rip it in order to even like to the ball. So after that, I actually went and I bought my yarn winder, and I also bought the umbrella, you know, because I was like, okay, I just wasted so much money on this yarn, and I have to have this like little tiny pieces. Then I started a project. Can you imagine this thing is since 2021? So basically what it is, the yarn is from a Pearl Soho, and then they had I think a free pattern, and the pattern is actually very beautiful. And since it's free, I don't have it. Actually, I do have it. I have it saved on my Notion. Okay, I found the name. It's called Botanical Lace Wrap, and it's extremely beautiful. I don't know. Yeah, so it's something like this. I didn't realize that knitting with the fingering yarn is extremely difficult. I also didn't understand how to read the, charts for because it's a very like intricate lace. So I literally had no idea what I'm doing. I think I casted it on twice and I made many mistakes because I would knit, and then I realized like, oh, something is wrong. And then I would try to unravel because it's such a complicated, back in the day when it was my first year, it was too complicated for me. I couldn't fix it, so I had to restart it several times. And I think after I restarted a couple of times, then I just was like, okay, I just gave up. And then I completely forgot. I just put it in this little bag and just put it in my stash, and it was just sitting there forever until I think like end of last year I started like going through my stash, trying to figure out what I need to get rid of. And I'm like, wait a minute. So what's gonna happen to this project? Obviously, I'm gonna unravel it. I might do this lace pattern, or maybe not, but I will definitely not continue this one. Seriously, there's nothing to continue. I don't know what to do with this yarn. It's extremely beautiful yarn. It has this like a buckwheat color. I don't know, like a young buckwheat. Wait, I don't know. I'm sure if I can even unravel it. It's extremely nice. It's like a high quality. I think I paid, even like I usually buy things on sale, but I think paid a lot of money for it. So I'm probably gonna use it, but I don't know what for, because it's like a lace weight, so it can be like a t-shirt or something like this. But I don't like this color, so I need to figure out what to do with it. That's what happens when you just have projects sitting for a couple of years. If you have a yarn sitting for too long that you bought for a specific project, or if you have a project that you started but never finished, especially on such an early stages, the problem is that a couple of years later you're gonna look at it and you're like, I don't like you anymore, or I don't like the color, or I don't want to have this particular item. Maybe I wanted to have it in 2021, but definitely not in 2025. Yeah, the only thing I think I need to find a new bag, because since it's sitting in this bag every time I put it there and it just disappears. So I will need to figure out. It would be kind of nice if I figure out something about this yarn this year. Maybe I should make a lace. I don't know. So this project was the easiest. We just unraveled it. Okay, next one. Next one is a cursed project. Oh my goodness. I still have a lot of yarn left. So first of all, like, I have 2 items. I was looking for these needles. I was like, did I lose them? This is why I have more than one set of needles, because of this long-lasting project. Okay, so look at the item that you see on me. Let me show you actually. So this is a sweater that has this like a saddle shoulder, and this was supposed to be another version of this sweater, but maybe not a sweater, a t-shirt or something like that. The way how this thing is made, there is a shoulder piece, so this piece. So that's how you start. You start with this little rectangular piece, and then you add the back to it. So it's kind of similar how most of this like top-down, I don't know, is it Scandinavian design or what? All this like a top-down sweaters are made, but it just has this saddle shoulder. So I started doing it. Actually, no, there are 2 versions of this. Why? Because this one is a double yarn. So it's like a thick one. And this one is a single yarn. So it's a thin one. Although you just see like a small piece like that, actually I knitted this sweater, because it's top down, all the way until my waist and even longer, and I was planning to make a summer dress. Let me see if I have any information about this project. So June 2023, this is when I started. Okay, this is me. This was in September 2023. I remember I needed it longer past my hips, and then I realized that it's still too tight, plus the yarn is very like thin. So let me talk about the yarn. This is a silk, but it's not the shiny silk that you know. This is called Bourette silk. It's supposed to be, I guess, the more or less sustainable silk, because they don't destroy the cocoon until it's left by the, what's the name of those guys? Anyway, and because it's used from the discarded cocoons, it's not as like silky and long, the fiber, it's more like rough. So when you touch it, it's not very nice, but because it's silk, as soon as you start wearing it, it warms up with your body and it becomes like very pleasant. So from what I've heard, that Bourette silk is one of the most pleasant yarns to do like a summer clothes, especially if you tend to run hot. That's why I really wanted to have something summery, but for some reason that dress didn't work for me. And then I decided like, okay, forget about the dress. Maybe I just make a summer sweater. And I was knitting it. Right now, I don't quite know why I stopped doing it. So this is the back piece, but anyway. Yeah, I think when I started knitting this, this was before I started considering more my personal style, what I want to wear. So again, this was not bright enough for my preferences. I don't know, to be honest, what to do out of it. My current plan is to unravel it because I don't think I need a silk sweater. But what I want to do, one thing I realized that I don't need any summer sweaters, or at least not many. I don't need any summer t-shirts because I don't like the style. But what I like the polo shirts. Did I already show it in some of my videos? Maybe I did. So I want to crochet or knit, maybe both actually, some of the summer polo shirts or just shirts in general. So something like this, or maybe something like this. Yeah, so something that's going to be lacy. Maybe I don't know, maybe I use my knitting machine and try to create some lace pattern. Let me show you something else. So I discovered this channel that has lots of patterns for knitting machine lace patterns and cables. I will link this channel down below. So basically on her channel, she just shows how to do the pattern for these particular stitches and how to actually, so it's a video tutorial, how to hand manipulate, how to move all your stitches to different needles, do all the twists, moves and whatnot. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna unravel this. Actually, yeah, let me put it. Actually, I should have created like unravel bean. Okay, forget about this. I can't do anything like that. But anyway, so this was gonna be unravel and do swatches for, let's move on. Okay, this project, I'm not gonna show much of it because it's lots of so this is a cardigan. I think it's called duster sometimes, I'm not sure. So it's a very long cardigan, almost like a coat. It's like a full length almost to the floor. I don't remember when I started this project. So this was March 2024, so it's like last year. Yeah, and actually the funny part is almost finished, but it's sitting in my stash. So you see, I already have this thing. And it's actually done. So if you look at it, it has sleeves, it has ribbing, it has everything. And the question is like, Stella, why aren't you wearing it? There are some projects that send me into paralysis. I almost finished it, but then I didn't like the bottom because the bottom, so when I did a hem, the ribbing was so tight, so it was making it kind of like a cocoon shape. I was like, okay, I don't want cocoon, it doesn't look good on me, I'm too short. So imagine all this I redid twice. And then the biggest curse was the sleeves. I redid sleeves several times. Oh, let me make it like wider, so it's almost like a kimono style. Oh no, it's too wide. Oh no, let me make it shorter. Oh, let me not make decreases. Oh, let me make less decreases. Let me make more. I don't know, for some reason I just could not find the shape. So what happens right now, I think these sleeves, they have different measurements, and I don't remember which one I wanted to keep and how many stitches each has. Yeah, this one hasn't finished yet, to be honest. So this sleeve, I think this one is too wide now, and this one is too narrow. So either if I decide to keep it, technically I need to at least fix the sleeves. Right now, I'm thinking like, I should just have finished it and just kept it like it is. It's actually very cozy. It's a very nice merino yarn, very soft, it's very thick. So it already came like this. You're gonna probably say like, still, you don't like speckled. Actually, I don't mind this type of speckling. This is the amount of speckles that you can predict because you just understand how speckled it's gonna be. Yeah. So anyway, I feel like I just need to finish it and I can wear it. But the problem is I feel it's a little bit too long. Plus I didn't realize that when you knit such a long garment, it's gonna stretch down because it's so heavy. So it turned out a little bit longer than I expected. But at this point, we don't need this perfection anymore. I'm just gonna finish this project this month and I'm gonna start wearing it. I don't know, it looks like a bathrobe, to be honest. Maybe that's why I didn't finish it, because I wasn't sure if it's too much like a bathrobe. But you know what? Maybe I should have a nice bathrobe. Okay, so this project, we're gonna consider it finished. We're gonna finish the last sleeve and we're gonna call it a day. Next one. Okay, this I already know. This is going to be a project from 2022. I know it's cool. I have this bunch of these bags, and there are some companies, when you buy something, they send the item. I think I bought some leggings or yoga pants, and they send it in this nice bag. So you can, I guess, take it with you to the gym or whatever. And I usually use these items for project bags because I don't like to buy project bags. Anyway, okay, so this one, July 2022. So, but as you can see, July 2022, it's already like not finished. I mean, it's not finished, but it's almost finished. So what it was self-drafted raglan that was knitted flat, and then I was supposed to sew it. And this is the item. But surprisingly, I have like some pieces, random pieces here that I have no idea what it is. Oh, is it a... Oh, it's a lavender. Nice. I guess I was holding for such a long time to it. I was afraid that some bug's gonna eat it. Anyway, so this is a yarn. I think it's a Lana Gross. I don't remember this name of this yarn, but it's actually a really nice yarn, like a chain. So if you want something like fluffy and very like lightweight, yeah. So I have this, and I have a pink one. Yeah. So this is a raglan T-shirt. Okay, it goes like this. So it kind of looks like a baseball shirt. I actually like this type of design. A raglan doesn't look very good on me because I have narrow shoulders, but I actually like this type of, is it baseball? Yeah, baseball shirts. So as you can see, it's almost finished. I did this. I only needed to finish basically, it's a folded hem, I think. So you see it's a folded hem. And obviously I needed to finish the bottom part, but it's not much to finish because I'm a short person. I guess judging by all these pieces, I guess I changed, at some point I changed the... was supposed to be a neckline. I guess I did ribbing, then I didn't like the ribbing, then I did a folded neckline. Then I guess I was experimenting with different colors. So I guess here the sleeves are green, and I guess I didn't like that they're green because I figured out they're too dark. So I wanted to make a yellow, I guess, sleeve. And then I made this piece. I don't even know what I was doing. So unfortunately, this is a very old project. And a little spicy detail. This was supposed to be a pattern that I was planning to sell. Some of you actually know my story from before. I used to be a blogger and podcaster, and I was doing my projects. And one day I just lost the opportunity to make any income with those projects. So I had to reconsider what to do next. And my first thought was like, okay, like since I'm knitting all day long anyways, maybe I should just do patterns. So this is how this raglan was created. I even made like Excel spreadsheet. I was like grading the pattern. My plan was to make it very like the best pattern possible. Like my plan was to have like a short pattern for people who just need like a short description, row by row pattern for people who need very detailed description, and then the scheme for people who just like to use the chart. So I was supposed to make the best pattern on earth. You know, it's kind of like hypocritical from me because I said that people shouldn't be selling patterns. But when I was planning to do it, my plan was like to treat it as a job. So I was planning, that's why I actually know a little bit about, I was planning to hire a person who's gonna proofread. I was planning to hire a technical editor who's gonna check my math and stuff like this. That's actually when I started learning about garment construction, how to grade for different sizes, what, like what things you need to consider if you're making for larger sizes, for smaller sizes, for different bodies and stuff like that. This was actually, there were two patterns that I was working on, this one and another one is a zip sweater. And the cool part, when I started doing it, basically in the beginning of 2022, zip sweaters were not as popular as now. But unfortunately, I never released it. I remember I spent the whole summer working on these two patterns, and then by the end of summer, I realized that if I treat it as a business, I'm gonna hate knitting. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be knitting as a job. I want to be knitting as a hobby, as my escape. So I just scrapped the whole project. And I think maybe that's why I didn't finish this, because my main motivation was like to make several examples. I actually have yarn for another project like that. That's actually the reason why I used Lana Grossa yarn. So it's more accessible than, because usually I knit with the yarn on a cone that's made for people who use like knitting machines. So this one I used actually the like readily accessible yarn. Anyway, the plan is to finish. I don't know when I'm gonna finish all these things, but this one I need to finish. Actually, I think I want to wear it. I always make this mistake to over-promising and overstretching myself. Okay, so the next project, another very large, another very large project. So this is another cursed project and cursed yarn. So this is the yarn. It's actually, I think it's alpaca wool and Donegal merino or something. So it's very fluffy. It's actually a really nice yarn. Unfortunately, when I bought it, I was thinking it's going to be more like a lime color. But when you actually knit with it, it's, I mean, even here, I don't know, it's actually more beige and blunt. And again, this was my error when I was buying many natural yarns, only to realize that I don't like beige colors. And this is actually started as a project that I think I did it my first year of knitting, August 2021. This is when I bought this yarn. So the plan was to make this like very airy, fluffy sweater. Use like a very high gauge needle for this like a fluffy thin yarn. So it's like very airy. And I'm like, I don't like the color. I'm not gonna wear it. I just don't like it. How about I make something else? So I unraveled the whole project and decided to make a cardigan. Yeah, so I was making this cardigan. It's a Fisherman rib and it's also self-drafted. No, it's not self-drafted. I think there was a video on YouTube that I was following. I probably had my own gauge, so I was kind of recalculating things or something like that. So I almost finished it, but when I tried it, there were some mistakes with it. First of all, look at the bottom. You see how it's folding? Because I didn't do the rib. I just started knitting like flat and it started kind of like folding like that. And I couldn't figure out how to finish. Back in 2021, I didn't know that you can actually cut the bottom and make a lifeline and just restart the new rib. I didn't know about that. And then the second problem, I didn't calculate it right. So my back was much shorter than the front. So when I would wear it, the back would be up to here, and you know, it was just a weird construction. So what did I say? 2021. So I realized like, okay, I don't like this yarn, I don't like this project, forget about it, let it just stay. So it was sitting in my unfinished project. And then last year when I was reviewing all my unfinished projects, I decided I was not gonna wear this yarn. I don't like it. I don't like the color. I don't like the speckles anymore. So what I did, I just decided to make a gigantic blanket, which I didn't finish. This is the size of this blanket. It's a very fancy blanket, but I was like, you know what, maybe I should have a nice fancy blanket. And the reason I didn't finish it because I don't know, to be honest. I just need to finish it. I mean, the reason I didn't finish it because this was my depressive blanket, so I kind of felt like super low. I was like very low energy. I didn't want to. And whenever I had time, I would just knit it. You know, when I come home, I was like, okay, I don't want to knit any sweaters. It's just too complicated. I just want to knit back and forth, a blanket. And I don't know how long I was working on this blanket, but I think I was working through the whole 2024. And then at some point, I just got tired of it, and I haven't touched it for a couple of months. So technically I only have 2, you know, like cakes left, and this one I don't think I will finish it. I will just keep it in my stash maybe for another project. So I just finished, technically I just need to finish this. Okay, I think I have one more project and that's it. This is also a cursed project. So this is a zip sweater. Remember I told you when I was thinking to make it to become a pattern designer, I made, this is not the first one. This is a second version of my zip sweater. The first one was in stockinette stitch, and the first one I'm actually wearing. And then I decided to make another one in a Fisherman rib because I like this. Oh my god, it looks so cute. Yeah. And this one is actually not going to be a sweater because I don't have enough yarn for a sweater. It's going to be like a vest. I'm just going to make a ribbing here. So this is the one. And the reason why I said it's a cursed project, I mean, not only because it's not finished, and this project is from 2022, the same as, yeah, I guess I mentioned. If you go to my Instagram, the first time you can see this yarn is May 2021. This is me starting something with this yarn. What I was starting, I was knitting a raglan Fisherman sweater. Like from the very beginning, I was very interested in like self-drafting items. So I think I took a course with one lady who was explaining the raglan construction. I don't know why I started with raglan. And unfortunately, this lady, she's a very talented knitter, but her courses are just horrible. That's why I don't want to mention her name. I don't want to say anything bad about her, but I just think she's like a very bad educator. So her courses are all over the place. And by the end of her course, I was not able to finish this garment. I actually learned more on internet than from her course. So I was doing the sweater, but it was something was constantly going wrong with it. So eventually I just unraveled it because I just couldn't finish it. Like my math was off, because the way how she explains, it's impossible to understand. And mind you, I'm not the only person who finished her raglan course and never finished never made a raglan. So I decided, like, maybe I'm just stupid. So I took another course from this lady, another knitting masterclass, where she was explaining the like a drop shoulder construction. So I went to her course and I just decided to use the same yarn. And this yarn was actually thrifted. Somebody on Mercari or like sites like that was actually selling like a leftover stash that I bought from these people. Actually, after I finished that course from this lady, I actually finished the sweater, and I'm gonna show you. I finished it in November 2021. I mean, it was not bad. Again, this is me. Yeah. But unfortunately, for some reason, I don't know why, I was never wearing this sweater. I just couldn't style it. I didn't like it. It was kind of weird. I mean, it was actually my first like self-drafted sweater, and that I completely I didn't follow anything. I just completely self-drafted it. And I also did like lots of I learned how to do this nice like a round neckline. I actually did in Tarsha first time. So this sweater was sitting for a year and I wasn't wearing it. I don't know why, but I just didn't wear it. So and then I decided, like, how about I unravel it and make it into zip sweater. But as you can see, it never ended up as a zip sweater. But actually right now when I put it on, I actually really like it. So what I'm gonna do, basically it's almost finished, and I actually already started finishing it last year. So as I said, like last year, I don't know, end of summer, I think I started like going through all my projects. September actually, yeah. So in September I found this was the piece. Yeah, so I finally put it together. I put this shoulder seams together. This is actually a very nice shoulder seam. It's like a flat shoulder seam. It's very nice. The rest is almost finished. What I need to do, I need to, you see I still have this cable. So now I need to knit a collar, and I need to buy a zip, and that's it. And here I might leave it like this because I don't think I have enough yarn. So I think this is all the yarn I have. This is very thick yarn, so it actually, it doesn't last long. So this one may not be enough to do the ribbing, the cuffing for the vest. Maybe just keep it like this. And I don't know if this probably not going to be enough for the collar. Maybe it will. I don't know. So anyway, so the goal is to make a collar and see how it goes, and then just keep it like this. And this is, yeah, as I said, it's also self-drafted, but based on my own math from the zip sweater. So this project is almost finished. Okay, so what do we have? Let's summarize this video. Most of the projects I have are almost finished, but for some reason, I think I just grew tired of the projects, and I don't have a discipline, to finish them. And at least like end of the year, actually I had more unfinished projects, but as I said, like end of last summer, I just went through all of those projects and I just unraveled them. Actually, I have one more project, but I have no idea what it is. Sorry. Where is it? Okay, I'll show you. I'm gonna show you pictures, and I guess I will have to film it later. There are actually also a bunch of projects I want to, a bunch of items that I don't wear anymore. I need to unravel, but I guess that's a separate video. So when I started knitting, this was I think my first sweater based on like some free pattern, and this is the sweater. I don't know if you can see. So it's like a garter stitch simple sweater. It has this like very like a very rustic style, and I actually love that sweater very much because it was my first sweater like that I knitted that I actually liked. It was made out of natural undyed, or maybe dyed, but like 100% alpaca, so it was really nice. It was like very airy because it was garter stitch, but it was really nice. It was like a little bit weird because it didn't have any drop shoulders. I think the sleeves were a little bit narrow. It was very short because it was my first sweater. It had like mistakes that were annoying me, so I decided to redo it, but I actually never finished it. I don't even know if I want to finish. So the problem is that I have too many like beige brown sweaters that I don't wear. So like, I mean, that sweater, technically I don't need to like, I didn't need to unravel it. I could just like go rid of it or something. But the yarn was really nice and it holds some sentimental value to me, I guess. That's why I kept it. And I have no idea what I'm gonna do with this project. Okay, so let's summarize. How many projects we have? Раз, два, три, четыре. Okay, since I was throwing things now, I don't know, 7, 8 projects. And my goal is that ideally by the end of the year, these projects don't exist in any form. So either they are finished or unraveled or whatever, redone. Ideally, maybe even not by the end of the year, but let's say, what is today? Today's February. Let's say like by the end of May, all these projects, that's going to be like a dream plan that by the end of May, all these projects are gone. I mean, not gone, but I do something with them. But I don't know if it's going to be possible or not. Maybe I should just spend 1 month, like a month of March, just finishing all the projects. I don't know, it sounds like very boring. But maybe I will do it. You know what? I'm just going to punish myself. I'm just going to finish all those projects. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll do a bingo or something. You know, sometimes people do this, some games, like when you have to finish it. I don't know. We'll see. I have no idea what I'm gonna do, but I need to figure out something, and obviously you're gonna be updated on the progress. What about you? Do you have many unfinished projects? Did you ever count? Do you have any system? Because I feel I have no system, and unless I force myself to go through my, like all my, you know, where I store my knitting stuff, to go through the item, declutter, reorganize, and then find all these projects and put them together, unless I do it specifically, nothing happens. But what I learned, at least about myself, I need to keep all these projects together. So I don't want it to happen again that I completely forget. So the basket that you saw in the very beginning, this is my basket. Actually, not this basket, there is another basket, but kind of similar. This one is just easier to carry. So there is a basket where I keep all my unfinished projects. So at least they're all there. And whenever I have a project that I don't want to continue on, I'm going to put in that basket. So at least everything is in one place. Second thing that I need to do, I need to stop storing my unfinished projects on the needles, because the problem is that I needed these needles for something else and I couldn't find them, and I almost bought another pair because I was like, I guess I lost it, I need to buy another pair. Also, what I need to start doing again, when I in my first couple of years of knitting, I was actually keeping a good track of all my projects. But then I think in 2023 I stopped because I was just too busy with work and I just didn't want to do it. And now I need to get back at it. I need to keep a track on my projects. And actually, this is the reason why I like having this channel, because I think this channel will keep me more organized, because I'm gonna, you know, have some updates for you guys. And this way I will be self-shamed to continue working on this project. Anyway, I'm rambling too much. Let's call it a day. I don't know if it was interesting or inspirational for you. Let me know which of the projects you liked. Let me know how many unfinished projects you have. What's your approach? Are you bothered by? I know some people are ashamed. Some people like they're mad at themselves that they have so many unfinished projects. Some people don't even bother. I came across somebody's post the other day, and they mentioned that they have like several dozens of unfinished projects, and I'm like, okay, several dozens, that's too much for me. I think if I have less than 8 so something like 5, 7, 8 unfinished projects is a lot, but not scary. If I have more than a dozen of unfinished projects, that sounds like a little bit scary, and there is an intervention is needed. Anyway, see you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see me again, and bye bye. You know what? I just found another project that's unfinished. This is why you have to keep them all together, because otherwise something like this is gonna happen. So a while ago I decided that I want a raffia bag, and I crocheted all these squares, and I never finished it. Yeah, I wonder if there are any other unfinished projects that I forgot about, and I probably have more than a dozen, and this actually scares me. This scares me. Also, I have projects that I started like in November, December, January, and I showed some of these projects to you in the knitting podcast. That's why I didn't even mention it here. So technically those projects count too. Yeah, I have way too many unfinished projects. Maybe I need to do something about it. Okay, I don't know, like I feel like stressed out by so many projects. Wait, is this blue not the same? It's supposed to be the same blue.